Hey guys, Jim Bounce, Motorhome Rehab Ranch. Thanks for coming today. We're going to talk about LED taillights. But before that, for 25, 30 years, I always had a shop. And always at the shop, you have a bench. A bench. In other words, the bench is made out of heavy duty stuff. You can beat it with a hammer, kind of a thing, bend on it. Took me 2 years, but I got a bench at the ranch. I'm excited about that. It's fun. Well, listen, at the end of this video, because I don't want to drive the people crazy that want to talk about LED lights. At the end of the video, I want to show you guys another little projects that I'm working on. All right, so look, let's get over here so you can see what I'm going to be doing here. Right about there. All right, so taillights. Here's the thing about taillights. LED lights, that's the new thing, right? Well, the problem with an LED light, it does not disperse. In other words, you've got a reflector, and a bulb shines in all directions, hits the reflector, and goes out. But see, an LED doesn't do that. An LED shoots a beam straight out. So these bulbs that you stick in, right? You take it off, you stick this bulb in, it's got a bunch of LEDs. Problem is when you look back at it and they hit the light, it's like the surface of the sun right there in the middle, but everything else is blank because it doesn't reflect off. And that's the problem when you go to put them for tail lights. It actually is dimmer than an incandescent bulb with the reflector around it. So let's talk about how to get a GMC, and let's put a good LED taillight system in it. All right. Now, first thing you're going to need to do, if you have the old lens assembly, it's going to have to go. You've seen the new ones, the larger ones like this, right? And it goes all the way from the edge to the edge. You're going to need that extra size inside for the LED wafer, okay? So you're going to have to convert to this new design. Sorry. There are ways you could probably get LED wafers in the original one, but the problem is it's the depth. With this being on the surface, the extra depth we have, we can use to put the wafer in. All right, so we're going to switch over to these. Now, you've seen these. This is a late model, late 80s or something, Chevrolet van. These are from DEPO Auto Parts. This is a 0022, I believe is the part number on it. But I used to buy them from Carolina Auto Parts. Those are, oh, here we go. Here's the number, 1928R. And then there's a 1928L, right? You got left and right. So you want to get a set of these, all right? Another thing you want to get are 8 of these screws. There'll be pictures at the bottom. This is a number 8, 3-inch long, self-tapping, oval head, in other words, a bevel head, Phillips screw. You're going to need 8 of these to go through and to snag the new holes that will be inside for these. All right, and then you're going to need this. This is a wafer LED. It has 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 LEDs. But the neat thing about it is it has the plug that you literally take your socket out. You take your old bulb out, leave the socket, put this in the socket, clean, I would suggest to clean the socket up. Stick this in there and boom, electrical's done. Okay? This is a wonderful thing. So where do you get these? All right. Get your pins. Now at the bottom, this will also be there. The brand is Bargman, Bargman. It's called an 84 series LED. Now, if you go online, put in Bargman 47-84-410 red. You can probably leave the red off because the 410 is a red. They have an amber one just like it. It'll pull up a lot of places. These are $42.99, and it has the extra little plug. Now you can buy the wafers, a lot of the wafers around, but having the plug is the big thing. Okay. Now I'll warn you this: when I bought these, it had one of these shrink wrap and heat connectors on it. Well, they both pulled off. So you may want to look at the connectors here. Now you can buy this without this. Look online, you'll find it. But the number that I just gave you has this connector, so it makes all your electrical hookups real easy. And you buy 2 of them. Now, you've got the left and the right of this. It's pretty simple to see. This won't fit in there. It's not made for that at all. Now, the operative word, you guys might laugh, but it's true. The operative word on anything having to do with a GMC is it almost fits perfect, right? Almost fits perfect. Well, this, if you were to put this on, the holes pretty much line up. Might be 1/8 of an inch out, but they line up. And this profile is exactly on the GMC. But this wouldn't fit. There's no room in there. So a lot of people will leave this and go to the coach and cut out a huge hole for this to fit in. I understand they got to get this to fit, but the thing is, we're not going to need this reflector. Plus, I don't want to cut a hole, 2 holes the back of my motorhome the size of my fist. So we're not going to do that. And if you have a thing with this cutout or something, you're on your own, brother. I'm talking to you guys that have an original taillight, might have this taillight, which you could reuse, and we're going to cut it in just a second. Or the original with a chrome, with a polished aluminum trim ring and a smaller taillight assembly. This is going to adapt from that to this system. All right, so you've got this thing. You see the back of it doesn't work. And for your backup, there's a bulb. This has a place for a lock-in bulb. That's not what we have. The bulb's already in there. So that's going to have to go away. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this thing. Now, what do you use? Well, you could use an air saw. You could use a little electric saw. This one actually I got is the cheapest thing you can get at Harbor Freight. It has broken twice. I have fixed it. It's broken now, so this is the 3rd time. It's a pretty cheesy little thing, but it actually works pretty good. It's very handy. Okay. You could also use a ziz wheel, as Mark calls it. If you got enough air, you can ziz around this. And what you're going to do, first thing, you're going to cut. You're going to cut this off. You're going to take your cutter, and you're going to go all the way around here. You're going to go over the top. You're going to take this off. Okay. Next thing you're going to do is right next to where the screw hole is. I mean, literally right next to the screw hole right here. You're going to cut and come across here, all the way across and over to the other screw. I mean, take it down right to the gasket. Okay, you'll see why. Then you've still got this on here. Again, take your ziz wheel or air saw. Now, the thing is, the air saw, I did it for years with an air saw. And the height of the air saw from here to there is just right for cutting that off. So you just cut that off. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut around here. And then you're going to cut across here. You're going to take this off. And this is what you're going to have left. Okay? Got a nice big opening for that bulb, for the backup bulb to go in there. Okay? You got your weep hole right here in the bottom. So when water does get in, not if, when, it'll go out here. And this is cut all the way down to here. Why? Because watch this. Here's our Bargman wafer. You put this end in right there, and it'll snap in. Probably want to put a little Gorilla Glue across there, something like that to hold it in. But there you are. Take this, plug this in to the outlet, to the where the bulb was, and screw it in. Now these screws, you'll find when you go to put it in, the inner inside screws will actually hit where the original machine screw went through the metal plate, right into there. So if you put these two in first, okay, you see what I'm saying? And then you put the other two in, they will hit just outside where these hit, because there's a metal plate there and there's screw holes in each corner. This will hit just outside of that. Make sense? So what you'll have will be the 4 screws, and you get them started. You get them started, and then you pull it on in. Boom. This tucks in right in there real nice. Enough room in behind there. You're in. The nice thing about this is a way for your electrical system isn't modified. You don't go into the wiring and scared about doing anything like that. And when it does fail, you can take this out. You can glue it in 4 corners or something, pop it loose, get another one, pop it in. Somebody goes, well, that's LED. You should never have to replace that. Guys, in the middle 70s, I worked at Lafayette Radios of Inchtech, and LED lights were indicators. Little dim little indicators that would tell you something's on or off or whatever. Never in a million years did I think that LEDs could actually be brighter than incandescents and replace it. Okay, so LED lights are very cool, but they're not forever. They don't have a burning filament on it, but they do burn out. Cheap ones burn out fast. More expensive ones take longer. If you'll look at the, they have runtime, not only how much current it has, like an old bulb, but it also will give you approximate time that the LED will be good. You want to look at that when you buy LEDs. Now this Bargman system, we put these in the last probably half a dozen coaches that came out of co-op, and to my knowledge, they were fine. And I've had this system in mine. I'll have pictures at the bottom of mine for some time, and it's worked just perfect. All right, so here's your tail light. Here's your LED, because your output, your footprint will be that whole 4x6 wafer. Make sense? Great. Look, if you have any questions about this or things you run into or whatever, I would clean this, the socket, clean that really good. But anything else, give me a call. Any improvements or ideas, or maybe a better wafer than this. Actually, the wafer that's in my coach was off of a tractor trailer. An LED was a bigger unit, and it was a real pain to put in. These were so simple, it was real easy to do. All right, well, there you go. LED taillights for your GMC. So look, you can't, just like all you guys, and generally I find that folks that have a GMC also have other interesting projects and things. They're, attorneys, airplane pilots, mechanics, and what have you. You can't live by just one project or GMC alone. Let me show you about another project that I've been working on. And before, I'd always had motorcycles, and I liked motorcycles. But to be honest with you, at this ripe age, I'm not sure if I want to go risk myself on a motorcycle anymore. So I got rid of all the motorcycles except for 2. All right, come on over here. Let me show you what I've done. Now this motorcycle I'm going to show you, this is a 1966 copy, Chinese copy of a 1938 BMW German heavy bike, sidecar. 750cc twin carb shaft drive, 17 horsepower. not too much. It was a very cool thing to ride. I mean, it was, you know, and all that, but it just really didn't have much go to it. And now I said this was a copy of a German bike. The Chinese People's Liberation Army from 1957 to 1989 made 1.6 million exact copies of this motorcycle. This is a 66 version. And I've had it for 10, 12 years, but it just wouldn't go. The other motorcycle I had, I have, it's no longer a motorcycle. Yeah, I cut it in half. That was a 1975 Honda GL1000 Goldwing, first year Goldwing. That's 1,000cc shaft drive, water cooled. Uh, uh, at the time, it was called the Superbike. It was a wonderful bike. I enjoyed the heck out of it, a lot of power. But I cut it in half, and I'm putting the Honda Goldwing rear wheel transmission and motor into the 1966 Shenzheng CJ750. Yep, believe it or not, it actually fits. It's amazing. Well, it will fit. It's, you know, these are the kind of things I'm sure that a lot of you guys are doing. I think this is going to be it. I think this is enough for me. If I can help you guys with the GMC, which I have, and show you guys and get that motorcycle running, fits on the trailer. And by the way, if you'll notice, my JG, our coach is painted to match that motorcycle. So there we go. I'm an enthusiast like you are. I enjoy things. I like projects, and I enjoy GMCs, and it's one of my favorite things. I hope it is for you too. Look, thanks for your time. I hope this LED tail light thing helps you out a little bit. If you have any questions, call me. Hit like and share and all that kind of stuff on YouTube. Patreon guys and good guys, after watching YouTube, come on over to Patreon, and I have some pictures at the bottom. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.